Welcome to the Mystic Millionaire podcast, where wealth is energy, success is a mindset, and abundance is your birthright. I am Danielle Amos, your host and mentor, here to help you unlock prosperity, embody confidence, and manifest a life you love. Take a breath, align with your truth, and let's manifest millions. Welcome to the Mystic Millionaire podcast. This is a brand new episode, and I am your host, Danielle Amos. Today, we're talking about enthusiasm and the energy of enthusiasm and why it matters. Well, there's a law, we've all heard about the law of attraction. And the law of attraction is part of it, and it became very popular, as we know, in The Secret. And my mentor, Bob Proctor, used to say, the movie The Secret's missing the secret. Because yes, the law of attraction is important, but at the base, it's a secondary law. So at the base of everything, at the foundation, it's really important to understand the law of vibration. The law of vibration is the primary law, and you attract into your life according to the way you're vibrating. Like resonates with like. And the truth is, everything is vibrating. This wooden stand is vibrating. This chair is vibrating. I'm vibrating. You are vibrating. And how I'm vibrating dictates what comes into my life. And vibration and frequency are very fancy words for how we feel. And so it's the way you feel that dictates what's coming into your life. And so the feelings come from your thoughts. And that's why we can say your thinking creates your reality, because the thoughts that you hold and the thoughts that you have with the most emotion and the most repetition really matter. They're going to contribute what comes into your life. Now, let's bring this back to enthusiasm. The word enthusiasm is very different, and the feeling, being enthusiastic, is very different than feeling excitement. Although they might appear to be similar on the outside, they're actually quite different. So think about it. When you're excited about something, it's like it's fleeting, and it's like a pure energy, like a high vibration, sure, and it's something that's like can go away quite quickly. And it's usually in response to outside circumstances. So for me, excitement feels like it's an external because of something external. Whereas enthusiasm is within. And in fact, I looked this up. The root word of enthusiasm, it has such a beautiful origin, by the way. It comes from a Greek word, entheos, and theos asmos, which is derived from en, meaning in, and theos, meaning God. So enthusiasm literally means God within, or possessed by God. So think about this. When you are starting a project or working on something and you are really enthusiastic about it, doesn't it feel like you are literally possessed by God? You are connecting with that God energy within, the desire within that God and your higher self planted within you. Let's go back to this definition. In ancient Greece, the term was originally used to describe someone who was overtaken or inspired by a divine presence, often associated with the gods like Apollo or Dionysus. It implied a kind of divine madness or sacred fever where one was animated or filled with the energy of the divine. So to be enthusiastic means more than just being excited, it's being lit up by the divine spark within. And so when you are lit up by this divine spark within, this vibration, this reality, this truth, it overtakes the vibration of your entire body. And it's one of the most powerful magnets that I know. Like When I am so lit up by my work and by a project, it's like it consumes me. Literally, it consumes me. And I can remember, I'm going to share a story. In 2008, I created a food festival called Savor Stratford. And it was inspired by a trip that I was on in the UK. And I traveled with my then husband through the UK, and we experienced a food festival, summer version of a food festival in Abergavenny, Wales. And this small town, Abergavenny, reminded me of my hometown, Stratford. And they had tasting events and chef events and farmers markets, and it was really beautiful. And this was just a summer event, but they shared with me, and this was actually a Christmas event, but they shared with me the event that they do in the summer. And I saw pictures and I Googled it online, and it looked amazing. And I decided that Stratford, our hometown, could benefit from a festival like this. So I walked into Stratford Tourism and I said, someone should do this. At the time, I was a general manager of a restaurant and I had no extra time to plan a food festival. But, like lots of people, I was very opinionated, and I went in and said, someone should do this. And the executive director said to me, well, you should do this. It's your idea. It's your vision. You can see it. Go for it. Now, here's the thing that I didn't know back then that I understand now. There's a great book by Elizabeth Gilbert, Big Magic. And she says that an idea is an entity. It has energy. An idea chooses its host. And so this is huge. So an idea chooses its host. So the idea for the food festival in my hometown, Stratford, that idea chose me because it knew that I was the best human to manifest this food festival, this idea, to bring it from the spirit, from the idea, the spiritual realm, through the intellect and into the physical form. This is the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. This idea chose me, and I acted on it. But here's the thing, ideas come to us all the time, and not all the time do you act. Am I right or am I right? Have you ever had this happen to you? You had a great idea, and then you didn't do much about it, you procrastinated, and then like a few months later, you see someone else executing the idea. That's happened to me before. It's because ideas have energy, and they choose the host that is best suited to bring it into the physical realm. And if you don't act on it, it's going to move on. It's going to choose a new host. But for me, Savor Stratford, I got so enthusiastic about this idea. I presented it to Stratford Tourism, and then I took it on. I decided that the executive director was right. I had the vision. I could see it in my mind. And we know by law that if you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand, you can experience the vision. I didn't know any of this material yet, but what I did know is that this vision was bigger than me. And what I did know is how to run a restaurant. And I created that food festival just like it was a restaurant. Kind of funny. But I share this because the enthusiasm literally took over. It was like I was possessed. And people around me actually said, oh my gosh, you're so obsessed with this idea of the food festival. It was June 2008 when I started speaking to stakeholders in our community. And by September 20th, 2008, Savor Stratford was being executed, and over 5,000 people came to a site down by the river in Stratford to experience our very first Savor Stratford Food Festival. It was a huge hit and actually grew into a festival that had over 30,000 people, hundreds of thousands of dollars in budget, bringing over $4 million into our local economy. Now, I shared that because my enthusiasm, especially at the beginning of the project, was what allowed me to attract the resources I needed to execute on that dream, on that vision. It's really interesting because I had a lot of naysayers. For example, I even went and spoke to the director of another festival that happened in Stratford Sound Music, and they had been going on for a while. And the people of that festival told me that I didn't have enough time to plan Savor Stratford. They were saying, like, there's no way you're going to get permits and tents and porta potties. And I'm like, okay. And I mean, ignorance is bliss sometimes, I didn't believe that. And I just went on and continued to plan the festival. I really believe that it was my enthusiasm, the energy, the vibration that I was in at the beginning, especially, that had me attract yeses. Yeses when I went to the city and asked for help. Yeses when I went to other restaurants and asked the chefs to get on board. Yes, when I asked my friends and family to get on the committees to help plan the festival. It was incredible. June, July, August, September. So less than 4 months went by. And I still had a job, which I ended up eventually retiring from so I could do this full time. I share this because enthusiasm is so important. And when I was studying about enthusiasm and looking at the meaning today, I love the line that when you're enthusiastic, you are lit up by the divine spark within, a state of being where inspiration, passion, and purpose flow from alignment with something greater than yourself. So when you flow from alignment means that you are in alignment with your thoughts, feelings, and actions. And that alignment is aligned with truth with a capital T, so who you are as an infinite being, and also your goal achieved in your vision. So my vision for Sabre Stratford was so crystal clear that I aligned to that. And I aligned to my truth that I didn't know at the time that anything was possible. So big. So your challenge, if you will take it on, is to bring more enthusiasm into your life. Become obsessed, become manic, become crazy about the projects you're working on. And here's the thing, if you can't find enthusiasm within, and I believe that it's something that we can develop and create, it's an energy that we can tap into. It does not come from outside, it's from within. And if you're not finding it, ask yourself, am I really living my purpose? Am I really doing what I want to be doing? Or is there a pivot? Is this an invitation for me to get quiet and ask myself what lights me up and be doing more of that? And the truth is, when you get lit up by an idea, it's often not logical. It's often not, like you may not have others cheering you on, right? They may be doing the opposite, but you know inside that you want to do it. And you'll know inside that the idea chose you and you chose it through the amazing principle and law of vibration. So your homework is to become enthusiastic, 10 times more enthusiastic than what you are right now. And notice if it feels uncomfortable to cultivate this energy within and show up in the world with enthusiasm. It probably does. It probably feels like all eyes are on you, and especially if it's not a way that you're used to showing up in the world. Others can look at you kind of funny because, to be honest, most people out there are quiet and dull and not making too much noise because they don't want too much attention attracted to them because they're really concerned about what others think. Your invitation is not to give a flying F about what others think, and instead cultivate that energy within so that you're lit up. And you, from this place of being lit up, from this enthusiastic place, you create a movement around your idea. You change lives because of your idea. You impact others, and you become part of the reason why the new earth is ushering in. That's why I believe that we're here right now. And if you're listening to this podcast, The Mystic Millionaire, this is part of your mission too. I have no doubt about it. So if you're committed to walking your purpose and living a life where you're enthusiastic, I want you to comment, send me a DM on Instagram at the Danielle Amos. Give us a thumbs up on this podcast and share with me what resonates. and tell me that you're taking on this challenge to become 10 more times enthusiastic in your life, in all areas of your life, and allow others to talk, give them something to talk about. Right. I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you to all of our subscribers for the bonus episodes and being really with me and supporting the production of this podcast. Thank you to all of our listeners, and please share this if this resonates. Expect the comments.